Tom Lehrer, born on April 9, 1928, in New York City, and passing away on July 26, 2025, at the age of 97, lived a life marked by remarkable wit, intellectual depth, and a unique ability to blend satire with music. Known for his biting humor and clever lyrics, Lehrer became a significant cultural figure in mid-20th century America, not only as a musician and satirist but also as a respected mathematician and educator. Though his musical career was relatively short, the impact of his songs lingered for decades, with many still admired for their sharp social and political commentary. Raised in a secular Jewish household on Manhattan's Upper East Side, Lehrer demonstrated academic brilliance from an early age. By the age of 7, he was already playing classical piano, and before long, he began writing original tunes inspired by musical theater. His prodigious talents propelled him quickly through school. He graduated from the Loomis School and entered Harvard University at just 15. There, he studied mathematics, earning his bachelor's degree magna cum laude in 1946, followed by a master's degree the following year. While at Harvard, he also began writing and performing humorous songs among his peers, an early glimpse of the satire that would define his later musical work. Though Lehrer continued in academia, teaching mathematics at institutions like Harvard, MIT, Wellesley, and eventually the University of California, Santa Cruz, he found early fame through his musical talents. In the 1950s, he recorded his first album Songs by Tom Lehrer, a low-budget project recorded in a single session and sold locally. Despite its controversial and unconventional content, the album caught on through grassroots support and word-of-mouth popularity. Lehrer's songs like Be Prepared and Lobachevsky showcased his signature blend of academic wit, black humor, and satirical lyricism. In 1955, Lehrer was drafted into the U.S. Army and assigned to the National Security Agency. True to form, he joked that he invented the Jell-O shot while trying to smuggle alcohol past military restrictions. After his military service, he returned to music with a second album and began performing live, his shows marked by deadpan delivery and sardonic charm. During a tour in Australia and New Zealand, he stirred controversy with a song criticizing the All Blacks tour of apartheid South Africa, illustrating his willingness to challenge authority and injustice through humor. Lehrer's music evolved with the times. In the 1960s, he became involved with That Was the Week That Was, the American version of a British satirical TV show. Writing songs for the program, Lehrer addressed contemporary issues like civil rights, nuclear threats, pollution, and church reform. These pieces, though topical, retained universal appeal due to their clever structure and witty wordplay. Lehrer often noted that satire was about predicting the worst, and he once quipped that if you always expected the worst, people would eventually call you a prophet. Though Lehrer only released a few albums, most notably That Was the Year That Was, his musical output was impactful. Songs like The Elements, in which he cleverly recited the periodic table to the tune of Gilbert and Sullivan's Major General's Song, became iconic. His parodies of musical theater forms, combined with original melodies and precise wordplay, drew in a devoted following. Lehrer's reluctance to fully enter the commercial music industry added to his mystique, and he remained somewhat of a cult figure. By the early 1970s, Lehrer stepped away from professional music and focused fully on teaching, joining UC Santa Cruz's faculty. There, he taught mathematics, jokingly calling one of his courses Math for Tenors, and occasionally incorporated music into his lessons. He also taught musical theater, blending his dual passions in unique ways. Despite withdrawing from public performance, Lehrer continued to influence the world of satire and song, albeit from the sidelines. Lehrer was famously modest about his contributions, claiming to have performed only 109 shows and written just 37 songs. Nevertheless, his influence stretched far. In 1980, the revue Tomfoolery revived his music for new audiences, with successful runs in London, Off-Broadway, and other cities. Lehrer updated lyrics for the show and even made rare TV appearances, including on BBC's Parkinson Show. Later, in 1998, he performed at a tribute event for producer Cameron Mackintosh, singing for Queen Elizabeth II and reminding the world of his enduring sharpness. In his later years, Lehrer remained a private figure, living between Santa Cruz and Cambridge, Massachusetts. He never married or had children and generally avoided the spotlight. Still, his music continued to find new audiences. His song, "The Old Dope Peddler," was sampled by rapper 2 Chainz, a move Lehrer welcomed with his usual irreverence. In an unprecedented act of generosity, Lehrer released his entire catalog into the public domain in 2020, relinquishing all copyrights by 2022. His official website made all his recordings and sheet music freely accessible, reflecting his belief that his work should serve the public, not just personal profit. Lehrer's cultural reach extended beyond his recordings. His songs were translated into several languages and performed globally, while artists like Randy Newman and Weird Al Yankovic cited him as an inspiration. British actor Daniel Radcliffe famously performed The Elements on television, drawing renewed attention to Lehrer's unique genius. Lehrer's legacy was also explored in stage productions like Letters from Lehrer and the British play Tom Lehrer is Teaching Math and Doesn't Want to Talk to You, showcasing his influence across generations and formats. Despite his often caustic take on world events, Lehrer's approach was ultimately one of intellectual engagement and moral clarity. He used satire not simply to mock but to provoke thought, challenge norms, and entertain. His humor was incisive, yet he never claimed to be changing minds. In his view, he was amusing those who already saw the world similarly, a modest perspective for someone whose work shaped comedic and musical sensibilities for decades. Even in his final years, Lehrer's skepticism about the state of satire remained firm. He famously remarked that satire died when Henry Kissinger won the Nobel Peace Prize, an example of how the absurdities of real life had begun to outpace even the sharpest comedic imaginations. Lehrer passed away peacefully at his Cambridge home, having left behind a body of work that was small in quantity but vast in influence. Tom Lehrer was a man of paradoxes, a mathematician with the heart of a performer, a satirist who shunned fame, and a cultural icon who preferred quiet solitude. Through his music, he held up a mirror to society, exposing its contradictions with a piano, a smile, and a cleverly constructed rhyme. Though he performed on stage for only a brief period, his songs continue to resonate, timeless reflections of a mind that saw the humor in the darkest corners of modern life. And with that, thanks for watching, share with friends, and please subscribe for more video.